All right, good morning and welcome to another session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be taking you through class. Here's our disclaimer. You're about to engage in intense physical activity. Proceed with caution. Do not attempt to perform any activities or movements that exceed your current physical capabilities. Participants with injuries, high blood pressure, chronic health conditions, recent chest pain, or any other condition that may limit their ability to participate in this activity should consult their physician or healthcare provider before proceeding. All right, everybody, make good choices for your body and let's come to our feet and get moving. All right, go ahead and kind of shake out your arms. Go ahead and walk your feet about hip width apart. We're going to bring our hands in front of our chest and we're going to go 3 cycles of some breathing here. So we're going to breathe in nice and deep, reach your arms up to overhead and relax them down to the sides as you exhale. Good job. We're going to go twice more. Breathe and stretch. Exhale, relax. Feel free to close the eyes. Pull those shoulders back as you open through the chest. Fantastic. And last time, nice and deep. Stretch up out of your hips and all the way down, nice and relaxed. Fantastic. Go ahead and continue. Let those arms be heavy at the side. Just kind of get a little sway into your hips. And we're going to go into our gates of heaven. We're just going to swing the hips side to side and allow the arms to be heavy. And just let them hit and swing against the body. There we go. Good. It's nice, smooth breathing. Start to warm up the tissues. Fantastic. About 10 more seconds. Clear your mind. Bring yourself into presence. And go ahead and relax from that. Next, we're going to interlace the hands, stretch straight up to overhead. And now with a slight bend in the knees, we're going to rotate our body. Peer over to your one side. And then back to center. And twist your body towards the other side. Once you've looked over both shoulders, now we're going to make some nice big sweeping motions. Reaching down for the floor. Not overstretching, just gradually start to circle yourself around here. Engage the glutes as you reach up to overhead. We're going to go 3 times through each direction. As you come up to standing, engage your glutes. Just gently arch to look to the ceiling above you. So fire the glutes. Allow the hips just very gently shift forward as you look up towards the ceiling. And then after 3 rotations, we're going to take it the other way. Reaching up, circling around. And as your body starts to lengthen, you can reach just a little bit farther towards the floor. Very good. Nice, large sweeping patterns. Waking it all up. Spread the fingers of the hands nice and wide. We're just looking to expand here all the way through. Very good. Once you finish 3 times there, we're just going to go into some side steps and some arm swings, alternating which arm's on top. Squeezing those shoulders back as you open the chest and swing your hands so that palms face forward on that back swing. So opening the chest, palms forward, and then alternating the top arm. Very good. All right, from here, we're going to step, you're going to mirror me. So you're going to go your right foot steps forward, left foot steps back. Again, we're going to interlace those hands, stretch straight up to overhead. And now we're going to begin to open our hips. So we're going to shift those hips forward, keep your front foot grounded into that heel, and then just fire that glute on your back leg. Just gently pulse forward here. Feel a nice opening on the front side of the torso. And now we're going to add a little side bend to it. So you're going to start to bend to the side, bending towards the leg you have forward. So it should be your right, back up to neutral, and then again, taking it to the side. Nice long side stretch. Fantastic. Once more. Reach and bend. Fantastic. Go ahead and shake it out. Same thing other side. Now your left forward, right back, same idea. Interlace the hands straight up to overhead. And we're going to start by just focusing on the front side of the hip. Fire the glute, shift it forward. A few times there. Very nice. And now straight facing and bending to the side. Stretch out that side body. Back to central. Central, neutral, long reach. Very nice. And one more time, over and back. Fantastic. Go ahead and come back to center. We're going to work on a little bit of balance here. Feel free if you want to support on something. Lift up through that midline. We're going to go our ankle rolls here as we balance on one leg. So we're going to twirl that ankle around about 5 times each way. And switch directions when you're ready. Very nice. And then in between sides, we're going to go some hip circles, hands on the hips, and circle them around. 3 to 5 each direction, just waking up all the planes here, moving it through. Very good, and switch directions when you're ready. All right, once you've loosened up both directions there, we gotta get that ankle on the opposite foot, so bring those feet back in, pulling up through that midline, come up onto one foot, and then here we go, rolling the ankle around. Fantastic, and the other way. Very good. All right, we're gonna start to get into a little bit faster moving now, either with some step jacks or some jump jacks. So stepping side to side, or once you feel ready, you can add a little bit of a jump here. I'm gonna take about 2 to 3 minutes here, get a little bit faster blood flow and breathing rate. And then we'll take it down to the floor. Good job. 20 more seconds here. We're going to a march next. Fantastic. All right, going to relax those arms down, lift up through your core once again. First cycle through, we're going to pause. Find those positions, lift everything up, pause, and then switch. Just 1 to 2 seconds. Doesn't have to be super long. It allows you to kind of practice gripping the toes down, lifting up through the midline, have good support through the hips. Very nice. There you go. Fantastic. And from this pause march, we're going to go arms out to the side, and we're going to go alternating knee to the elbow. One elbow to that knee, and up, and switch. Good. So as you switch legs, you're still focused on pulling up through the core. As you pull those arms open, squeeze those shoulders back. Nice. If you can't quite get that elbow to the knee, just do the best you can. Breathe. Fantastic. Let's go 2 more each side. You can turn it off. There you go. Last one. We're going back to our jumping jacks or step jacks next. We're going to go seal jacks this time. Open chest. So stepping or add the hop. There you go. Beautiful. 15 more seconds here. Anytime you need, just take it back to a step. All right, very nice. And now we're going to go march and punch, or you can add the skip. So punching or add a little hop. Kind of reminds me of some kind of like 1980s dance move as well. There we go, good. Smile, don't hesitate to be silly. Just enjoy yourself here. Another 10 seconds. And then one more time through those alternating knee to elbows. 2, 1, and here we go. Step it out, arms out wide, and lifting up, elbow towards the opposite knee. Very good. Close that midline down. One side of the body meets the other side of the body. As you lift the knee, lift the foot and toes as well. Fantastic. And keep that breathing going. So I tend to exhale as I bring that elbow in. Inhale as I open. Good. Let's go. One more each side. Fantastic. Shake it out. Grab some water if you have some nearby. All right, before we take it down to the floor, we're gonna do a couple more stretches from standing. We're gonna be doing some shoulder work today in the first part. So we're gonna start by opening up the chest. Go ahead and take a nice wide base stance. Bend into the heels, into the knees and hips. As able, interlace the hands behind you or use a towel. Extend out those elbows, midline strong, so we don't want to arch here. Keep those ribs down. And then you can add a forward fold. Send the hips back, bowing forward, bring the arms up and over your head. And then you can just gently pull your torso side to side. Stay grounded with your weight into the heels, gripping the toes down. And go ahead and shake it out, come on up. Fantastic. One more, can practice that balance again on this one. Lifting up, grab a foot, quad stretch. And just be patient here on your balance. Pulling that heel towards the glute. And nice deep breaths. Watch the position of your shoulder as well. So send that shoulder blade back on your torso. And go ahead and release that side. Same thing, other side. Lifting up. Get that point of balance. Grab the foot. I'm going to hold about 20 seconds here. All right. So if you have some light weights around, you can use some light weights for what we're going to do on our first series on the floor. But if you've also never done what's called like a Turkish sit-up, I recommend just starting with like pretending you have weights in your hand. And if you have a mat, you're going to want to have that down on the floor as well. So go ahead and meet me on the floor. We'll do a couple stretches and then we're going to roll into that first series. All right, so first we're going to come down on hands and knees. We're going to stretch out those forearms, palms down, fingers towards you, and then just gently sit back and rock side to side. And then we'll go ahead and turn the hands so the fingers are interlaced right in towards one another. And now from here, we're going to circle the torso around. Just getting some nice movement into the wrist. And especially with at-home training, we tend to do quite a bit of support on the hands. So you always want to take care of your forearms, keep the wrist mobile. Try to break it up as much as possible. Go ahead and come up to kneeling, shake those hands out. Very good. All right, from here, we're going to go into child's pose, knees together again, toes divide. Walk your hands out nice and long, and then drop the hips back, drop the head between the arms. And then bring your awareness back to your breath, where you're going to focus to breathe into the back of your rib cage, expanding as well as you can. And then on your exhale, just allow yourself to drop a little bit closer to your mat. Let's go 2 more cycles there. Nice deep breath. Exhale. And once more, breathe in. And all the way out. Very good. All right, let's go ahead, come onto your back. And like I said, we're going to do this first round here without any weight, just introducing the movement. It's called a Turkish sit-up. It's the first phase of a movement called the Turkish get-up. So we're going to make sure we know where our lefts and rights are, okay? We're going to start with your right foot. You're going to bend, extend the left leg out, bend your right foot and pull it up towards your hip and glute as best you can. You're going to put that foot flat on the ground, okay? That heel's planted. And I'll show you on this side. Instead of having it straight on, I kind of walk it a little bit out to the side as well. From here, I'm going to raise my right hand straight up in the air. Left hand, I'm going to place it down on the mat, just about like 30 to 45 degrees out from the side. Pushing up, I'm going to push into my right foot and I'm going to roll across, coming to the elbow. So I'm on the elbow of my left hand. And then from here, I'm going to come all the way up. So I'm supporting on the palm of the left hand. And now I'm going to look up at that right hand as if I'm holding a weight there. Okay, from here, this is the top portion. And then we're going to come back down to your elbow, back down to your shoulder, relax the head back. And that's our starting position. So again, we're going to just roll up, push through that right heel, roll to your left elbow. and then coming on up, pushing through that left hand. And we want to be actively pushing here. I don't want to be sunk down. So push up, looking, and then roll it back. We're going to do that 3 more times on this arm. Push up, roll across. Very good. And then down to the elbow, controlling it back and down. And this right foot will kind of start to move in. So keep it out to the outside, because again, you can kind of push through that to get that momentum across. Very good. And then all the way up, lifting out of the hand. Beautiful. Once more here. Push and up and across. Fantastic. And I'm looking at you all, kind of keep an eye on you, but ideally you want your gaze to be up at your hand the whole time so you can keep your eye on that weight. Go ahead and bring that down. And now we're going to switch sides. Extend your right leg, pull that left foot in towards your left glute, and just as close as you can, keeping it in a good position. Now we put our right hand down on the floor, about that 30 to 45 degrees. And now we have our imaginary weight in that left hand. So turn your gaze up towards the ceiling, watching your fist on the left. And then when you're ready, roll across, drive into that left heel, come up onto your elbow on the right, and then all the way through to the palm. So I can show it straight on too. So then we'll come back to the elbow, all the way back. We're going to go 4 more times. Roll across, watch that hand, and then push. We have a nice kind of like long line here from hand to hand, and then you take your way back. So this works our midline strength as well as that shoulder stability work. And as you can imagine, you want to start really light with the weight here, especially if you have any kind of limitations through your shoulders, or if you've had any kind of chronic injuries. I think that's about 3. Let's go 2 more. Roll across, lift, spread hand to hand. Fantastic. 1 more. Push and reach. So we're going to continue to drive into that right heel to give a little momentum, up and back. Fantastic. All right, from there, we're going to come to hands and knees. If you're pretty confident on your plank, like if you can hold at least about 30 to 60 seconds on your forearm plank, no problem. Now we're going to add what we call a pull through. So you can either be on your hands or your forearms. You have a light weight on one side of your body. You reach under your body, pull it across, shift your weight to the other arm, reach under, pull it back. So from straight on, it looks like this. Here's my weight on one side of the body. I bring it across, shift the weight, grab it, bring it to the other side. We're going to go between 3 and 5 each side, or about 45 seconds. Okay, so let's go ahead and play with that. Keep yourself as square as you can as you move. 2, 1, whenever you're ready. So now we're adding some difficulty to it, keeping yourself square. And if you're just getting started with us, just hold a plank. Don't worry about the extra movements. Continue to keep that low back engaged. You want to let those hips drop down and arch. Very good. About 20 seconds left. Just kind of continue to move side to side. Lifting up out of those shoulders. Very good. And go ahead and rest. Sorry. Scam likely. All right, staying on hands and knees, we're going to do our mid-back rotations. So hand behind the head, elbow to the opposite elbow, lift up and peer up towards the ceiling. Let's go 5 on each side. Elbow to elbow, lift and rotate. Inhale as you close, exhale as you open. Good job. And that's going to be our sequence. We're going to go twice more. We'll go back to our Turkish sit-ups here after these rotations. And not so much worried about speed, but we want to have good quality of movement there. Switch arms when you're ready, about 5 on the other side. Take your time, especially in that open position, lifting up out of that bottom shoulder. Peer with your gaze up towards the ceiling. And just encourage that opening through that midline. Got 1 more. Very good. All right. So feel free to grab a drink. And then we're going to go back to those sit-ups. If you feel pretty clear on what we're doing there, you're welcome to hold a light weight. If you're like, I'm still a little bit unsure about how this all works, then just stay with your imaginary weight until you kind of feel like you've mastered it a little bit better. So let's go ahead and start with the weight on the right arm. Shoulder blades back and down. Pull that right heel in. The same side the knee is bent. That's going to be the side that holds the weight. Left hand out to the side. Push through that right heel to get some momentum. Roll across and then bring that weight right back up to overhead. From the elbow, you're going to come all the way up to the shoulder, or excuse me, the palm. And then down to the elbow, roll it back. Good job. And keep your eye on that weight. Upwards of 5 here. Lift and roll. Beautiful. Good extension, everybody. Yep. Back and down. And say at some point you kind of lose that balance and that weight starts to come down, just guide it down with your other hand or whatever you need to do. Try not to like fight it. If you're like, I'm kind of losing it, then just bring it down to the ground best you can. Back and across, rolling up all the way to the palm. Maybe one more. If you know you've done 5 or so, feel free to switch if you're ready. Bringing it down, same thing other side. I switch the legs. Pulling that heel in close to my hips, best I can. Ideally, you want to have that heel planted though. Arm straight up, opposite hand to the side, roll across, spread from hand to hand. Focus on opening through those shoulders in the top. Good job, couple more. Fantastic. And in upcoming sessions, we'll just be adding to this. This movement has many different segues that we can advance it. So kind of give some different areas to focus. All right, very good. Once you finish 5 on each arm, we're gonna roll it back over, getting ready for our plank pull-throughs. And use the same weight, change it up however you feel. We're gonna be working for 45 seconds. You can also do this with a kettlebell, where you basically lay the kettlebell or lie the kettlebell flat on its side, and then I'll be pulling it through and flipping it over. All right, whenever you're ready, we're gonna go 45 seconds here. 2, 1, and here we go. Try to have as little shift between the hips and shoulders as you switch sides. Nice stability. As you place that elbow down or the hand, lift up out of that shoulder before you grab your weight to pull it across. And really fire that lower ab as well. Very good. That's 30 seconds. You're going to go another 15 here. Anytime you need a break, rest before you lose your technique. Or good positioning, however you want to see it. Maybe one more on each side. And 2, 1. Go ahead and rest. All right, we're going to bring the knees back down. We're going to do a different variation of our mid-back opening. So we're going to stay up on the hand. Now we're going to go palm up on the low back. From here, dip your elbow, or excuse me, your shoulder towards that opposite side of the body. And then same idea from there. Lift up, peer towards the ceiling. 5 this way. Down. Exhale. Breathe in to close. Exhale to open. Couple more. Good job. Switch sides when you're ready. And remember the hand that's supporting. Splay the fingers. Grip the finger pads down. Palm up on the low back. Dip the shoulder. Lifting up. Peering over that opposite shoulder. Down and up. Breathe in and exhale. Once more. Very good. All right, last time on those Turkish sit-ups. About 5 on each side. All right, so with weight or without, if you have a kettlebell that you're using, you're gonna wanna have it resting on the back side of the hand. So I put my hand through, the bell rests on the back of that forearm. Right arm first, pull that right foot in, left hand out to the side. Remember to actively push up against as you roll over that elbow and then lifting up to the palm. Very good. Push, roll, and lift. Nice. Keeping everything in good position. Reset that heel as needed. The heavier you get on the weight, the more you'll need to kind of use the lower body to get that lift and get that momentum started to roll across and then elevate. Maybe one more. Fantastic. Switch sides when you're ready. My body keeps inching back. Left foot's bent with the weight on the left side of the body, right hand out to the side. Push up, actively engage to that shoulder, and 5 on this side. Fantastic. Drive into that heel. All the way through. Very good. After you finish 5 there, we're going to roll it over, taking it back for one more cycle of those plank pull-throughs. All right. So down on the forearms or on the palms, 2, 1, and here we go. Keep those hips as square as you can to the shoulders. But honestly, I'd rather have you pike your hips a little bit higher than to sink the hips too low. It's not ideal positioning, but it's going to at least keep your back in a safer position. Rather than arching that back, tends to kind of pinch those lower lumbar spine together. Very good. We're just over halfway. Good support out of those arms. Breathe. Fantastic. Let's get about once more each side. And bringing it back and relax. Good job. Very nice. Last time through of the mid-back rotations. If you feel comfortable for it, this time come down on your forearm. So it's just going to be a little bit tighter. You can almost bring your legs into a child's pose position with toes together, knees divide, and then hand behind the head, elbow to elbow. Lift up out of that bottom shoulder best you can, peering over the elbow. Just like last 2 rounds, 5 each side. Taking your time, pause in that open position. Get the benefit out of that rotation. Once more, breathe in and out. Beautiful. After 5, switch sides, same thing. Getting ready for our main piece of the workout coming up next. We're going to be doing some single arm thrusters or squats, as well as some renegade rows, and then a little bit of jumping jacks at the end to kind of keep the heart rate up. So go ahead and finish that out. Let's get some water, and we're going to come back up to our feet to get prepped for this next circuit. And then we're going to end the class with a little bit of upper body work, some curl and press to overhead, as well as some tricep extensions. So let's first warm up those squats. So once you come up to standing, place the feet about hip width apart, nice tall chest, and we're going to go unweighted here. Reaching the arms out, taking your time, sinking the hips back, keep those heels planted, chest as tall as you can, and then drive your feet strong into the floor to stand. Very good. We're going to go between 3 and 5 here. Take your time. Wake up the lower body, standing with confidence. Beautiful. Sink, arms up to keep that chest tall. Beautiful. Couple more. Back and down. Up and confident. Yes. Beautiful, ladies. And if there's any gents on the recording, fantastic. We're going to open up the chest a little bit more next. So if you have a doorway or a wall nearby, we're going to go chest or pec stretch, elbow about 90 degrees. Place that hand against the door or the wall. Inside leg steps forward, lean into it. And then we're going to make some nice big sweeping circles with the opposite arm. So as I reach in front of my body, my palms facing in towards my body. As I reach to overhead, I rotate the hand away. Good. About 5 circles here, but don't neglect the arm against the wall. You want to continue to open through the chest here as well. Fantastic. Very good. And then when you're ready, just turn your body around, Same thing, other side. Again, I'm starting in this position, elbow right about shoulder height, inside leg steps forward. Lean into it with your torso first. So feel that opening against on the side closest to the wall. And then once you start to get an opening there, now you can add the opposite arm. Remember, palm faces in, reaching, rotate that hand away on that back. Call it back swing almost. On that circle back behind you. Fantastic. All right, shake that out. Cool. So those of you that are familiar with what we've been doing here with these thrusters, remember we're going to be doing a single arm thruster. So you're going to hold the weight up at your shoulders. Opposite arm is going to counterbalance. You'll come down to that squat, stand, and drive straight up to overhead. Bringing it down, sit it back, and drive. We're going to be going a full minute of these. At the 30-second mark, we're simply going to switch arms, sitting back, driving tall, and then we'll have about 15 seconds to rotate down to the floor for our Renegade row, okay? If you don't have weights that are equal or able to balance on the floor, you're going to hold a plank and just pretend you have weights in your hand, rowing from here, okay? You can also do it elevated, so you can place the hands elevated if you want to give a little bit of a break onto that midline. And then after our rows, we'll come up to our feet for our jumping jacks or step jacks, okay? Someone, I don't know what's going on here. Okay. All right, so if there are no questions, we're going to go ahead and get started. It ends up being a full minute on that Renegade row as well. So if you're like shaking really bad or not in great position, please come down, take a break, come back in as able. All right, let's start with those thrusters. Left arm, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good control. We got 3 sets of this, so pace yourself. Set yourself up to be able to go evenly throughout, or even to get a little faster on the later rounds. Halfway through the first arm. And as you push to overhead, elevate that shoulder up towards the ear. Overhead press is the only time I tell you to elevate that shoulder blade up. And 2, 1, switch arms. Hips back. My feet stay firmly planted throughout this squat. Breathe in as you lower. Exhale as you drive up. Very good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. Good job. Maybe one more. And 2, 1, and rotate. Awesome work. Down for our plank or Renegade row. Starting in 10 seconds. I'll tell you every 15 seconds here. And 3, 2, 1, and begin. Set your feet a little bit wider, like just outside the hips. And similar to when we did those plank pull-throughs earlier, you want to have as little shift as possible between your shoulders and hips. Good job. That's our first 15. And once you know what you're doing, peer, don't stare at the screen. Look right between your hands. And as always, focus on that breath. That's 30 seconds in. If you're just getting started with us, that's a great time to just rest. Work for 30, rest from there. Very good. That's 45 seconds. And anyone here that's fairly mobile, or if you know you're kind of hypermobile, or people call it double jointed in your elbows, make sure you keep a slight bend there. Don't hyperextend that elbow. And 2, 1, and relax. Well, not quite. Come up to your feet. Getting ready for our jumping jacks. So if you get there before me, you're welcome to start early. And our official 30 seconds starts now. Good work. We have 30 seconds of jumping jacks or step jacks. And then we're just going to take a nice short break of 30 seconds before we start that second round. So from now is 45 seconds till we start. If you want a little more rest, go ahead and take a break from the jumping jacks. Fantastic, almost there. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Grab some water. Woohoo! That's set 1. We'll do that twice more. We'll be back to our thrusters in 20 seconds. Nice job. All right, 10 seconds till we start. Back in that left arm. Set your feet about hip width apart. Nice deep breath. 2, 1. Here we go. Sinking back. Good control. And now that your heart rate's a little bit higher, takes a little bit more focus. So connect to your breathing. Breathe in as you sink back. Exhale as you drive up. Great job. And it's a thruster because the idea is to thrust those hips, last part of the squat, to give that lift to overhead. Go ahead and switch arms. Same thing other side. Heels down, chest up. Breathe in. Drive out. Fantastic. 15 seconds left on this arm, and then we're making our way to our Renegade rows. Nice. And 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Down for the rows. With weights or without. Going in 5. Focus in. 2, 1, and here we go. Remember, feet a little bit wider than a normal plank. Just a slight bend in those elbows. And try to really focus to have control of this movement. So just gently place the weight or the hand back down. That's our first 15 seconds. Fantastic. There you go, holding strong. That's our 30-second mark. Remember to really watch that lower back, avoiding any kind of an arch. And there's 45 seconds. When we finish this here, we're going to come back to our feet for those jump jacks. You can take the full 15 seconds of transition, or you can start as soon as you're ready. 2, 1, transition. All right. If you want to start early, feel free. Stepping or jumping. 30 more seconds. Good work. That's the end of set 2. After we finish this full 30 seconds of jumping jacks, we'll have a 30-second break before we go into our third and final set. Excellent job. 15 seconds left. Good breathing. Pull those shoulders back. Keep your chest nice and tall. 2, 1, and rest. All right, 30 seconds off. Move back for one more round of thrusters. And you could always, could have said this earlier, but say you don't have weights for that's appropriate for one arm. You can also hold it under your chin and just do a regular thruster throughout. Single arm just meant to bring some variation. All right, 5 seconds, left arm first. Feet about hip width apart. 2, 1, here we go. Good control. Find something straight ahead to focus on. Keep your gaze up. Like as if you were looking up out at the horizon if you're at the beach. So eyes gazing straight ahead. Consistent depth, sinking those hips back, keeping those heels planted. Maybe one more on this arm. 2, 1, switch sides. And final 30 seconds of thrusters. Good movements. Keeping those knees pushing wide. Looks great. Fully extend to overhead. Elevate the shoulder. 10 seconds left. Maybe one more, 2, 1, and rotate. Well done. Final round of planks. Renegade row or plank row. Place those feet a little bit outside the hips, and here we go. When you pull that elbow up, focus on that shoulder blade, trying to pull it in towards your spine. Breathe. Exhale as you pull it into the body. That's our first 15 seconds. Stay as level as you can. Gaze focused right between the hands. Great job. There's 30 seconds down. Feel free to rest as needed. Nice job. There you go. Keep those hips a little more level, Sharon. 45 seconds down. Doing great. Maybe one more on each side. In and hold. 2, 1. And final round of jumping jacks. Come on up and get it started as soon as you're ready. You got 35 seconds left in this set. Nice job, everybody. Allow that heart rate to come up. Breathe them through it. Fantastic. Stepping as needed. 20 seconds left. There you go. Good. This is the end of the heavy breathing part of this hour. So just hang in there, 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and all done there. Great job. Give yourself a round of applause. Celebrate getting through that. Those are some tough intervals. Sharon's dancing. I love it. Grab some water, folks. Walk it out. And like I said, we're going to be finishing with some upper body work. We're going to be doing a curl into an overhead press. Ideally with 2 arms together. And instead of for time, we're going to go for reps. So don't feel like you have to start right away, but what we're doing is curling into the shoulders, and then from there you press up to overhead. So as I'm here, my palms are towards me, and then as I push to overhead, I turn the palms away, okay? So I bring them down, extend fully through your elbows, curl, keeping those elbows in, don't let them wing wide, and then push up, elevating through your shoulders. Very good. Whenever you're ready, upwards of 10. I'm just going to go ahead and do it from kneeling. You're welcome to be standing. Just nice, smooth breathing. Good, strong extension. Fantastic. I don't know what happened, Sharon. You're frozen in that other frame. Hello, hello. I can see. I was like, boy, she's really holding an overhead hold for a long time there. And of course, I lost track. Let's go 1 to 2 more. Counting is probably my biggest challenge. Life is good if counting is my hardest thing I have to do in the day. All right, after roughly 10 or so, go ahead and shake it out. We're going to go into our tricep extensions next. I'm going to recommend these as a tricep kickback. So you can either balance on a chair, or you can even just stand in like a long lunge position. Lighter weights, folks, pretty lightweight here. You're going to pull the elbow up towards the ceiling. Arm stays against the torso. Extend the elbow, turning the palm up. Extend, rotating up. Okay, the other alternative for a tricep extension would be like seated or standing, supporting through the elbow, and extending straight up here. Okay. So again, roughly between 5 and 10. If you go a little bit more reps on each side, that's fine as well. And we're going to go 3 times here. So once we finish these tricep extensions, we'll go back to those curl and press for a total of 3 rounds. So you can stay with me or just circle through on your own. And then we'll finish with a few cool down stretches. 9. And that's right about 10. Nice job. And opposite arm when you're ready. Yep, palm rotates up. You're doing this version here. Building those nice strong arms. Even though it's the middle of winter right now, keep the arms strong. Keeping some definition. Couple more reps. Fantastic. Anytime you want to take a break, grab some water, keep yourself hydrated. Otherwise, we'll go back to that curl and press of set 2 this time. So again, keeping those elbows fully extended in the bottom, curl into the shoulders, and then rotate your palms away as you push up to overhead. This could also be done as a single arm. If you didn't have 2 weights, you could do all on one arm and then switch for the other side. And as always, as we push up to overhead, we're working to keep our ribs down, meaning we don't want to arch that back to get up to overhead. That's usually a compensation for lack of mobility through those shoulders and that mid back. When it gets stiff, it's hard to open through those shoulders. That's why we do so much of that rotational work, like we did down on hands and knees during our first circuit, because the better rotation and extension you have, the better your overhead position will be. And shoulders can really give us troubles over our lifetime, so you want to keep them happy and healthy. Pick up our grandkids, get the stuff out of the cupboards up top. And of course, I have no idea what rep I'm on. That's got to be right about 10 or so. Round 2 on those extensions for the triceps when you're ready. Great job. Long lunge. Pull that elbow, holding it neutral, and then kick it back. Turn that palm up. Building these triceps also is going to help to build some strength through those dips that we do periodically. It's a good way to kind of isolate those muscles. Bodybuilding type exercises aren't always meant for the people that are going to go flex on stage, but it's just a good way to keep ourselves happy, healthy, and strong. Switch arms when you're ready, end of set 2, and then we'll take it one more time through. Very good. Yep, keeping that upper arm right against the torso. Nice. Call it a tricep kick back. You're kicking that elbow back, kicking that weight back, turning it up. Couple more. Fantastic. No rush, but whenever you're ready, I'm going to grab a drink before we go, and then we'll do that one more time through. All right, fully extended elbows in the opening in the bottom. Curl it in, push it up. As I come down from overhead, I make a point to kind of bring my elbows forward instead of out to the side. So sometimes we'll see people kind of go elbows wide to the side. Think elbows forward and then open. Good. And as always, don't hold your breath, breathe. Very good. Go ahead and keep finishing that out there. I just noticed my battery is talking to me. Get that guy plugged in. Finish out your curl and press, and then last time through on those tricep extensions, whether you choose overhead or the kickbacks. Good job, ladies. Finishing those kickbacks. Gonna do 5 on each side to kind of speed it up since I took a pause there. Elbow up high, arm against the torso, rotating that palm at the back. Good. Very nice. Go ahead and finish that out, and then we'll finish with some stretches. Good work. Fantastic. So as people are finishing up, we'll just start with our side steps and some arm swings. Kind of officially bring that heart rate down, opening the chest again. Very good. For this next one, if you're comfortable to be in a kneeling position, we're going to come to the bottom of a lunge with our right knee on the floor. If you don't feel like kneeling, if you're not in a good spot for that, mimic as best you can from a standing position. Otherwise, left foot forward, right knee down. And we're going to start by interlacing the hands, stretch straight up, similar to what we did at the beginning, but now from a lunge as able. Shift those hips forward and make sure that your front foot is far enough forward that when you shift the hips forward, that heel stays planted and that shin stays vertical. So breathe here. Fire that glute on that back trail leg, allowing that hip to open. And then relax out of it. Shake the arms for a second. Next, we're going to go our tricep side bends with it. So reach the arm up, bend the elbow, pull that chin in, and now we're bending to the side. Breathe in. We're going to go 5 times here. So hit the tricep, hitting that side body. And once more. Very good. Take your left elbow on the inside of that left knee on the lead leg, slide down the shin. You're just going to hover by the instep here. And then when you're ready, you're going to take your left hand, walk your fingers underneath your right arm, see kind of how far you can reach there, and then pushing through your right hand, lift up and rotate, peer over that shoulder. Just going to go 3 times on each arm. So walk the hand under that lead leg, lifting up, rotating back. And once more, walk it under and lift and rotate. Same thing, other arm, and then we're going to switch legs. So now we'll walk our hand underneath that front leg best you can, lift up and rotate here. And say it's like, if it's hard to support there, you could put a block. Mine's not nearby. You can have something here to kind of support this hand on so you don't feel as tight in that rotation. The side is usually a little bit more awkward than the opposite arm for whatever reason, or maybe it's just my body. Very good. When you're ready, switch legs. So we're coming back to that lunge, this time the right foot forward. Starting with those fingers interlaced, stretching straight up, and then long enough lunge so you can shift that back hip forward, keep that front heel planted. Shift out of it, shift into it, and breathe. Squeeze that glute on that left leg as that hip opens. Once more. Very good. And then we're going to go our tricep side bend. So left arm this time, reach up, bend the elbow, grab that elbow, and 5 times towards that front leg. Breathe in and out. In and out. Good job. Couple more. And last one. Very good. Just the instep left, elbow on the inside of that front leg, slide down. Give yourself a second down here. Allow that outer right hip to open. And then when you're ready, right hand walks underneath that left arm. Lift up out of that left shoulder as you rotate and peer 3 times each arm. Walk it under and lift up, stretch it back. Very good. Once more. Very good. And then the opposite arm. Remember, this is a great time. Got my block here. I can show you. If it's uncomfortable, be that low, put a block or a pillow there, and then that takes you a little bit more out of that rotation. Otherwise, if you feel good, Reach as far as you can, stretch as far as you can, make the most of it. Awesome job. Once you finish each time there, our very last one, we're just gonna take you down into child's pose. Toes together, knees divide. This time we're gonna go palms up. So bring your little fingers together, drop those hips back, and drop your head down. Nice deep breaths here. Fantastic. Go ahead and take your time there. And then as always, feel out anything else your body might need today. Drink plenty of water in between our sessions and hope to see you all next time. Thanks for coming and moving with us.